Last month, a 62-year-old woman walked into a salon with short hair and walked out looking so young that her own daughter didn't recognize her in the parking lot. This wasn't a $500 makeover. The haircut cost $40. True story. And here's the part that shocked me most. She'd been going to the same stylist for 8 years, always asking for something younger, and always leaving with shorter hair that made her look older. Sound familiar? Here's what's happening. The beauty industry has convinced us that once we hit 60, we need to chop it all off and go age-appropriate. But that's code for invisible. I'm about to show you 7 specific haircuts that are doing the exact opposite. They're making women over 60 look 45, and they work even if your hair is thinning, fine, or completely gray. But here's the catch, and this is critical. There's one cut on this list that 90% of women choose first, and it's actually the worst one for most face shapes. It ages you instead of helping you. I'll tell you exactly which one to avoid at the end of this video, so don't click away early or you might make an expensive mistake. Right now, hit that subscribe button because you're about to get the exact words to say to your stylist, and I mean exact scripts you can use. Let's start with number 7 and work our way to the most dramatic age-erasing cut that literally no one talks about. Haircut 1, the soft bob. The bob is familiar, classy, and powerful, but only when it's done softly. The mistake is getting a stiff, blunt bob that sits like a helmet. That can make the face look heavier and more tired. What you want is a soft bob that falls around the chin or just below it, with light layers, movement at the ends, and a little shaping around the face. If your jawline has softened, a slightly angled bob can create the illusion of lift. It's polished without looking old-fashioned. Haircut 2, the textured, layered pixie. Yes, a pixie can work beautifully after 60, but not the flat, overly short, wash-and-go version that removes all softness. The modern pixie needs texture, layers, and a little length on top. Ask for a longer fringe, soft pieces around the ears, and volume through the crown. This keeps the cut feminine, fresh, and stylish instead of harsh. It's especially good if your hair is fine, because the right layering makes it look thicker and more intentional. Haircut 3, the shoulder-length layered cut. This is one of the safest and most flattering choices for women over 60 because it gives you length without dragging the face down. The hair sits around the shoulders while soft layers begin near the cheekbones or jawline. That movement helps lift the face visually and makes thinning hair look fuller. It also gives you options. You can wear it smooth, wavy, tucked behind the ear, or pulled back. It's elegant, youthful, and very easy to live with. Haircut 4, the textured lob. The lob, or long bob, is perfect if you want something modern but not too dramatic. It usually falls between the chin and collarbone, and the magic is in the texture. A blunt lob can look heavy, but a textured lob moves. It softens the neck, frames the face, and gives the hair a fuller appearance. This cut works beautifully with gray hair, highlights, or natural color because the layers catch the light and create dimension. It's simple, but it never looks boring. Haircut 5, the soft shag. The soft shag is for the woman who wants movement, volume, and a little personality. This isn't the messy teenage shag from decades ago. This version has gentle layers, face-framing pieces, and a relaxed shape that makes the hair look alive again. It works especially well if your hair has a natural wave or if it tends to fall flat at the crown. The soft shag gives you that effortless look without making you seem like you're trying too hard. Haircut 6, the face-framing midi cut. The midi cut sits between shoulder length and mid-back, which makes it perfect if you still love longer hair but want it to look fresh. The most important part is the face framing. Those shorter pieces around the cheeks and jaw create softness and movement, while the longer length keeps it feminine. This cut can make the hair look more abundant, especially when the layers are blended correctly. It's graceful, modern, and very flattering on mature faces. Haircut 7, the biscia cut. The biscia is a beautiful mix between a bob and a pixie. It gives you the lightness of a short cut, but with more softness and shape. It's not as cropped as a pixie and not as structured as a bob, which makes it perfect for women who want change without going too extreme. The longer top and soft sides frame the face, while the shorter back gives lift. If you wear glasses, This cut can be especially flattering because it opens the face without making the hair disappear. Now, before you choose any of these cuts, I need you to hear this clearly. The haircut itself is not the magic. The magic is how it is shaped for your face, your hair texture, your lifestyle, and your confidence. Because this is where so many women over 60 get trapped. They walk into the salon and say, "Just make it easy." And the stylist hears, "Cut it short." Then you leave with a haircut you never really asked for. It may be practical, but it doesn't make you feel beautiful. It may be neat, but it doesn't make you feel seen. And after a while, you start believing that this is just what happens with age. You become practical, quiet, and invisible. But that is not true. A haircut should not make you feel like you've given up. It should make you feel like you've stepped back into yourself. The goal is not to look 25. That is not the point. The goal is to look refreshed, lifted, current, and alive. There is a huge difference between chasing youth and choosing a style that brings energy back to your face. A great haircut does not erase who you are. It highlights who you still are. And let's be honest, by the time you reach 60, you know yourself better than you ever did at 30. You have lived through changes, responsibilities, heartbreaks, family demands, career seasons, health scares, and moments where you had to be strong even when nobody noticed. So why should your hair be dull, flat, and apologetic? Why should your style whisper when you still have something to say? This is why softness matters so much. As we age, our faces naturally change. The jawline may soften. The skin may lose some firmness. The hair may become finer or more fragile. Harsh lines can exaggerate those changes, but soft layers can balance them. Movement around the face can make everything look lighter. A little volume at the crown can lift the whole appearance. Face framing pieces can draw attention to your eyes, cheekbones, and smile instead of areas you may feel self-conscious about. That's the real secret. It's not about hiding age. It's about redirecting attention toward your best features. And please don't let anyone tell you that gray hair means boring hair. Gray hair can be absolutely stunning when it has the right shape. In fact, silver, white, and salt and pepper hair often look more expensive when they are cut with movement. The problem is not the gray. The problem is when gray hair is left in a shapeless cut that makes it look tired. Add texture, add layers, add a soft fringe, add shine, and suddenly gray hair becomes elegant, modern, and magnetic. The same goes for thinning hair. Many women panic when their hair becomes finer, so they cut it shorter and shorter, thinking that will solve the problem. Sometimes it helps, but not always. If the cut is too short and too flat, it can expose the scalp even more. What you often need is strategic layering, not just less hair. You need shape that creates the illusion of fullness. You need ends that don't look wispy. You need volume in the right places, especially around the crown and sides. And if your hair has changed texture, you're not alone. Hair after 60 can become drier, coarser, finer, frizzier, or more unpredictable. The style that worked at 45 may not work now, and that does not mean anything is wrong with you. It simply means your haircut needs to evolve. Just like your wardrobe changes, your makeup changes, and your daily routine changes, your hair needs permission to change too. One of the biggest mistakes is walking into the salon with no plan and hoping the stylist understands what you mean by younger. That word means different things to different people. To one stylist, younger means shorter. To another, it means trendier. To another, it means layers. So don't just say, "Make me look younger." Say what you actually want. Say, "I want softness around my face." Say, "I want more volume at the crown." Say, "I don't want anything harsh or blunt." Say, "I still want to look feminine." Say, "Please don't cut it shorter just because of my age." That last sentence is powerful because you are allowed to have a preference. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to stop a haircut before it becomes something you hate. You are allowed to ask questions. You are not being difficult. You are being clear. And if your stylist makes you feel silly for wanting to look beautiful, find another stylist. Truly. A good stylist does not shame you for aging. A good stylist listens. A good stylist studies your face, your hair density, your neckline, your glasses, your lifestyle, and your personality. A good stylist doesn't just cut hair. They help you feel like yourself again. Also, remember this. The most youthful haircut is often the one that still moves. Hair that is too stiff can age you. Hair that is sprayed into place and never shifts can feel dated. You want touchable hair. You want hair that catches light. You want hair that has a little lift, a little bend, a little life. Even if you like polished styles, there should still be softness somewhere. That may be a side-swept bang. It may be face-framing layers. It may be textured ends. It may be a lifted crown. It may be a longer piece near the cheekbone. Small details can change everything. And don't forget the emotional side of this. Sometimes a haircut is not just a haircut. Sometimes it is the first decision you've made for yourself in a long time. Maybe you spent years taking care of children, a spouse, parents, grandchildren, work, bills, and everyone else's needs. Maybe your own beauty became an afterthought. Maybe you got used to choosing what was convenient instead of what made you feel alive. But convenience and confidence do not have to be enemies. You can have a haircut that is easy and still beautiful. You can have a style that doesn't take an hour every morning but still makes you stand taller when you pass a mirror. You can have hair that works with your real life and still makes people say, "You look amazing, what did you do?" That is the sweet spot. The best haircut for you is the one that makes you feel like you don't have to explain yourself. You just walk into a room and feel present. You feel polished at lunch with friends. You feel attractive in family photos. You feel like making plans again. You feel like wearing lipstick again. You feel like buying that pretty blouse instead of saving it for someday. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to change everything at once. If you're nervous, start with softness. Add face framing layers. Try a longer bang. Take the bob a little lower. Add texture to your pixie. Grow your cut into a bichette. Move slowly if you need to. But don't stay stuck in a style that makes you feel older than you are inside. Because the woman in the mirror is still you. She may have different hair than she had at 30. She may have lines that tell stories. She may have silver strands that came from a life fully lived. But she is not invisible. She is not finished. And she does not need permission to feel beautiful again. So before your next salon visit, choose the cut that made you sit up a little straighter while watching this video. That's usually the one. Take a screenshot, save a photo, write down the name, and walk in with confidence. Don't ask for something age-appropriate. Ask for something that feels like you. And if this video helped you, subscribe to the channel because we're not doing invisible aging over here. We're choosing confidence, softness, style, and beauty at every age. Hit the like button so more women over 60 can find this, and comment below with the haircut you would actually try first. Because your next chapter deserves a hairstyle that walks into the room before you even say a word.